Hello, I'm RayneofKalamity and welcome back to Seemore Smp. It has been a while, but last time we built our first shop ever, which is a mud farm, and I already restocked it, but we've earned a total of 49 diamonds. Holy moly. The shop is restocked. We go down here. I have restocked all of them to the brim, and I don't think I'm gonna change the price just yet because it's y'all bought me out, so like it seems like a reasonable price. I do have to finish the interior, but that's a future me problem. Because to be fair, I don't wanna, point blank simple, don't wanna. Instead, today we are going to be returning to the other thing in which we got done last time, which was this moss farm. We started our mossification journey and it's not going too terribly badly. I don't know why everything's over here in the trash, but I'm really excited about this. It's real ugly. So I think today we're doing terraforming. I wanted to put a tree over it. But because it's so big, the tree has to be why is this here? Anyway, I don't know if I put this here or somebody else put it here. It's been a while since I've been on the server. It's been a couple months since the last video. But the tree has to be so big that it will offset the scale of everything else that I want to do. So it doesn't make sense to have one or even a couple of those absolutely touches the ceiling, I guess not ceiling, but height limit trees. And also I'm not good at designing things that big that quickly. So for now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to terraform over this. And I think I want to terraform the whole area around here and build up some nice, pretty cliff faces and everything like that. And we may even get into, oh god, hello? Screw you, vines. We may even get into terraforming within the future lake. Because it needs it. It's super, hi Daves. I think that's what I named you. You're Dave? Maybe? I don't know. It needs terraforming. But in order to do that, we have to get some supplies together. So let's get to it. And in order to get to it and to get all the supplies we were going to need, I realized I needed to clean up my storage room first and the giant mess in which I'd left myself. This allowed me to see exactly what I had. So I was able to raid most of my storage room for the supplies we were going to need. There were only a few things that I needed to get. One being tuft, and the other being soul soil. What? I'm confused. When did I look at you? I'm confused on what's happening. There was an enderman that was hunting me down and now I don't know where he went. But I don't remember looking at an enderman when I was in the nether. Anyway, I've done all of my supply gathering. He's probably gonna reappear soon. I think, probably. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. But I've done most of my supply gathering. I've also gotten a few other things from the nether, as you saw. Let me put... Actually, I'm going to put this in my e-chest. My e-chest is a mess. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put that there. Why are there... Every time I look in there, I'm confused by what I have in there. Okay. But these are roughly the supplies we are going with. I am going with a much warmer tone, so I have the jungle wood and the granite, as we'll transition into the mossiness and everything like that. But I do have the darker blocks for closer to the water, where there would be some wetness, dampness, and a little bit of erosion. So I'm really excited about that. I do have the netherrack. I don't need this empty shulker, but I do have the netherrack, so we can go plan this out before we go too far. So let me grab all this. Got them all? Yeah. Got all this. And we will post up over here by the extra bed. I'm gonna set my spawn here just in case Angry Man comes back. I don't know where he went. I don't know jack diddly about what happened with that. I don't even know if I got it on recording. I hope that I did. But if I didn't, not my problem, I guess. I don't know. Actually, I don't like those there. You can go there. Okay. So, with the netherrack, I want to plan out exactly where I want this cliff face to go. I think I might build something up here because this is kind of where I've been perching when I look at things. Even if I go into free cam mode, I'll stand here because I know it's safe. So I might make a safety space here, and I'm gonna probably try and follow the actual natural curve of this a little bit to help me out, so I don't have to worry too much about building in the water just yet. And then this will be probably just over the top of this height-wise, because I feel like that won't be too drastic of a slope up. It might make sense that it's been eroded down by the water over time. So we're gonna get into some planning, which started with laying out a bunch of netherrack. I tend to use netherrack for planning as it's a really easy block to get and one I don't care about losing or recovering or leaving underneath at any point. Okay, a little bit of planning done. I'm not too happy with this curve. It feels too man-made versus natural, but I could probably offset it with like some trees or some overgrowth or things like that. And it might also be because this is such a weird shape. This might come out a little bit more as well, and that might offset it because right now it's very just angular. And then this here, I also set up my little perch area, which will make a nice little molehill out of, I guess. And then as you can see right down here, I have lifted it up because I think this is going to be a little grotto, a little cave that we'll build in. That way we can get in and out of this space a lot easier without having to worry too much. We can just fly right in through there or boat or whatever. And I really like that idea. Now comes the part about actually building it. So, yeah. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I think I'm going to have to start in a weird way where I start with the height and build up to it, and then I have to do the whole edge around and then the actual top of it. So while we're doing that, I'm going to go like that. Turn this bad boy on because we're going to need a lot of moss. And then I'm going to grab 2 stacks, I guess. And, this is the highest. Ow. This is the highest. Ow. This is the highest point, but I would like to be able to stand up here. So we're gonna go 1, 2. I'll do 3, and then we're gonna go here. And I'm going to bring this out. I think the hardest part of this whole thing so far with planning, I don't have Swift Sneak 3. So there's that. And I am gonna have this overset the line just a little bit because I do think this will have a bit of a curve. I think that's pretty good for now. It looks real weird. And I hate it. But we're gonna fix it right now. Here we have it. So far, I'm not real happy with it, but I haven't done any details. It's just the broad strokes of it, and honestly wasn't expecting to make a land bridge, so there's that. The small island just looked like a weird top hat, and I wasn't... I swear, every time I record, you start raining. It rains too god dang much in Minecraft. I can't... Anyway, that aside, you take a little gander here. I've kind of connected up here, so I know generally where this slope might be going. I'll probably flatten it out in a lot of areas so we can do farmland or buildings or whatever. But I've got a lot of room for farms, so I think this is going to be the farm cave, the experiment cave. I have a little whoop out here. We have underneath like this. Again, I don't have all the broad strokes. I mean, I only have the broad strokes. I don't have all the details. So I very much like the way this is coming together. I didn't do over here yet because I have to figure out the angle of it, and now I kind of realize I probably should put the cave entrance in the cave entrance in the cave. I don't know. But this is taking me a long time. This has been a very intimidating process. Given I decided I was going to do terraforming on a whim instead of building a giant tree because it seemed easier. But doing the broad strokes has helped immensely. I also have been running this while I've been building, so I have a lot of moss to do the upper portions. I'm not happy with it, but I'm not mad at it. You know? However, I do think this is where I'm going to leave it for now, so I can have some time. Thank you. To think about this. And instead, we are going to shift our attention to some little micro farms. Because I want to do a little micro lichen farm and a little, what are they called? Glowberries farm. So I can decorate in here and we can light everything up without using torches. And don't mind the moss. That's just places where I could stand. So I could do the upper portion. Because I don't have a happy ghast and I don't really want one. They're not as useful as people think they are. They're actually kind of annoying. I've learned that recently. But I think somewhere in this giant space we can get some micro farms going. I don't know if I have the supplies for that. So, mining montage, go. Now, did I actually have all the supplies for everything we're gonna need? And didn't need a mining montage? Maybe? Did I make the excuse to have a mining montage so I could go mining and find more diamonds so that I could spend them at the sugar shop in the shopping district? I guess we'll never know. But for now, I have collected everything we're gonna need. We're gonna make a lot of little micro farms. Cause why not? Also, I don't know if I have actually enough dispensers, but I did make quite a bit. The glowberries, the lichen, and I think the firefly bush are the main ones I'm gonna be focusing on. But everything else is going to be needed for when we move to terraforming the top. Because otherwise it's gonna be very boring and very bland. So I gotta figure out where we wanna put it. I think I might actually put a real sugarcane farm here at some point. Because I desperately need sugarcane. I need to also make a small gunpowder farm. Because I need rockets. I only use free cam when I'm showing you guys stuff, but I like looking at things with my own two big pixelated blue eyeballs. So I burn through rockets so much. And I don't know where I really want to I think I might put it over here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it on the back side. I'm going to put it over here. We're going to put it back here. So let's clear some space. Okay, now I have some space clear. I'm going to go here. I'm thinking about all the farms in general. So I think this will be... Oh, I need more space than that, actually. To pull these forward quite a bit. We'll go there. Yeah, that seems good. All these little farms are going to be temporary for now. I do think I want to come back in later and decorate in here and make it a much more aesthetic farm area. But is what it is. I'm going to need mine carts. I'm gonna need hopper, minecart, so do that, do that. Can I plant flowers on mud, actually? Because if I can, well, that would be kind of nice. You know what I mean? Time to find out. I can, I don't need hopper minecarts, cool. Okay. Yay! It works! The first micro farm of many. So now I have dyes, which is going to come in handy. I'm very excited about this. And now I think I want to do glowberries probably here. Yeah, sure. Why not? All right. I don't want to do too much bone meal in here. Also will serve as a AFK point, I guess. Oh, wait. I could do... Hold on. No. No. But... So I can operate it from in here. You're gonna pop off though once I... Yeah. Oh god. That was... Okay, you can't be there. Means you probably can't be there either. Not really. Not really what I wanted, but for now, I hate that that sticks out. But it works. If it works, it works, you know? So one more micro farm. Now, the one in which I will follow a tutorial for is going to be the glow lichen one. I'm going to follow an Il Mango tutorial, and I think I'm just going to put it like, it needs to go like in the ground, I think. I'm just going to put it over here, I think. So, I'm going to get to that. That's the stuff. Because lichen is the thing I'm gonna need the most, and I hate that it just started raining once again. I do no, fix your weather, Minecraft. Fix it. Thank you. But lichen is the thing I'm gonna need the most of. So I can get the atmosphere vibes in which I desire for the swamp. So, given the fact that that wasn't, like, that was like 2.5 stacks of bone meal in this whole thing, and I got more than that. Maybe it was 2.5 stacks, maybe it was less. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, I'm gonna just plop these bad boys in here. I will also do this for now so I don't lose it, because I want to make a couple more farms, and I'm just gonna blast through those before we get back into terraforming. But I'm pretty excited about this. This is overkill. And I'm excited. Micro farms completed. I have the firefly bush, pink petals, and yellow petals. I also did start on possibly a mushroom farm and decided that seems like too much redstone for me right now. So I gave up because we're not, well, I am going to need a lot of brown mushies. Brown mushies is such a good texture for ground. Just for ground, you know? You know. But now that I've had this break from terraforming to do all this, I'm going to have to worry about bone meal. I don't know where I'm getting it from because this farm, I don't think I did the bone meal section correctly or the XP section correctly, so I'm gonna have to redo this area to get the bone meal, but I think I'd like to return to terraforming. I want to do at least the front facade of this, because once we have this, we can figure out where the slope is here. Obviously, I've kind of calculated it a little bit here. Knowing where that would actually meet up over there would be super helpful. I think with the way this goes, probably connect up to here, and this would be the good height here, and then have it drop down and do different elevations. But I don't know where that is because over there I got no idea. So let's jump in to another time lapse and get this going, shall we? Drinking, what's your vibe? Drinking, what's your drinking? Okie dokie, here we have it. I didn't finish putting all the moss in because I realized I'm, gonna have to take out all these farms and then we can grade it down a bit more. But also because this is so flat. Again, I'm just doing broad strokes today. We'll do details later because this is not staying all moss on the top. That's just atrocious. But also, this cliff face just goes up. There's nothing there. There's no stairs. There's no slabs. There's no walls. There's no trapdoors. There's no nothing. That's the little details. But as you saw probably in the time lapse when I was over here, because I was gonna fill everything in. Do I still have moss on me? I do. I realized I hadn't accounted for the height of the moss farm over here. I only did so over there. That's why it's so tall. And then brought it down. So I added in this cliff face, which I kind of actually really like, because now it gives us a little bit more depth and dimension to the cliff face, especially over here. Because before it was just this came up and it was real flat and then it was going to dip back down. But now we have a couple different levels, which will be really nice when we do add trees and greenery and all that sort of stuff, especially when this is a lot more detailed. I did leave the cave entrance, as you saw. I don't think it's staying. Please ignore the fact that it's floating. Again, broad strokes, broad strokes. But we do have this if need be. I did, however, also, if I swim over here real fast, open this up, which I think this is going to actually be the cave entrance once we have like all the details and stuff, because it makes a little bit more sense. You'd come underneath here and then go into the cave. And this one, I might actually pull this section out a little bit more. And make it kind of like come out to maybe here. Do a little, maybe something. A little like this. It's like a little bit of a weird shape. Because I want to get rid of, I might get rid of this sandbar. But I'm trying to think about how mangroves and swamps are, is they have a lot of weird land shapes. And they can have a lot of cliffs. I know, like, I want to make this a very kind of mystical, magical, swampy vibe. So we're going to have to definitely add that, which is going to come with the details and everything like that. But I think this is a really, really good start. We went from nothing here to this big land bridge and this future cliff, which we could definitely put something on top, like a major tree or something. And yeah, we could even possibly, can I land this? Oh, I mean, technically, yes, but also no, I didn't land it. I could make another small land bridge to over here that goes down. Like there's a lot of possibilities, especially when we factor in like mangrove roots and trees and things like that have these really spindly root systems that can connect a lot of places and hang down and have all those aerial roots. But for now, I think this is a very good place to end it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. And if you liked it, feel free to hit that like or that subscribe button. But I will see you guys next time. And hopefully we can have a little bit more social interaction. No one's really been on, but I'm also not surprised Christmas is next week. So, you know. And with that being said, happy holidays, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.